We have a very special alum this year that we like to announce, and it's for our Heritage Award, which is the highest award we give to alums. David J. Lancia is a partner in the Pittsburgh office of PricewaterhouseCoopers, a certified public accountant in Pennsylvania and West Virginia. David joined Coopers & Lybrand in 1978. From 1985 to 1981, he worked outside of public accounting in various real estate and oil and gas ventures. He rejoined the firm in 1991 and was admitted to partnership in 1993. From 1996 until 1998, David took on the role of tax partner in charge of the firm's Pittsburgh office when it merged with Price Waterhouse. He returned to this role in 2003 and was the Lake Erie market tax leader from 2007 to 2012. A member of the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Pennsylvania Institute of Certified Public Accountants, David received his bachelor's degree in accounting from Robert Morris University in 1979, and then he received his master's in taxation from the university in 1986. A 1997 recipient of the university's Alumni Achievement Award, he is a member of RMU's Board of Trustees, and as I mentioned before, he is the chair of our Audit and Risk Committee on the board. He is also a former board member, an executive committee member of the Pittsburgh Ballet Theater, and serves as an adjunct professor at the Carnegie Mellon University's Tepper School of Business. And he's an all-around great guy, does wonderful things for this university. So please, before I bring David up to the podium, we have a short video that we'd like to show the audience on that wonderful life of Dave Lancia. Please watch the monitors.
My father actually grew up in the area that was where the Civic Arena was, which is the Lower Hill, and worked at the Pittsburgh Press. He was a paper handler, and my mom grew up in Mount Washington. And she devoted her life to raising me and my older brother and older sister and my younger brother and younger sisters.
Dave and I were both in, the school band. We were in the stage band together. We got to know each other through those things, and ultimately we formed this band called Ashwood. Dave played the drums. I played the trumpet. We practiced several times a week, and over that, the course of that time, really got to know each other. When he played the drums, he sweat profusely, and he sometimes smiled, but I tell you one thing, he always gave it everything that he could give it. And I think as a result of that, we were actually a better band as a result of the way that, Dave's perfectionism.
I spent the summers working in the steel mill. I was actually a lidman on a coke oven, for those that might understand the steel business. I worked over in Hazelwood in the J&L plant over there, the byproducts division. And it's then when you're doing that kind of a thing in the summer and you're kind of in school just going through the motions, you start to realize I better get serious because I don't want to do this the rest of my life. So it was at that point that I started to seek out what would be a good strategy for me to make sure that I could launch a real professional career. And I ended up at Robert
David was an intern from Robert Morris, and there was a number of interns and a number of new hires at Coopers and Lybrand, and it was Coopers and Lybrand at that time. But David had a way of differentiating himself, I think. As I recall, he was a high-energy guy. He was very personable, and he just exuded this personality that you couldn't help but notice him.
I first met David as the Price Waterhouse and Coopers and Lybrand firms were merging to become what is known today as Price Waterhouse Coopers. David was actually the tax partner in charge of the Coopers and Lybrand practice, and I had a similar role for Price Waterhouse, leading the Pittsburgh tax practice. We both have strong appreciations of family. We have great appreciation for client matters, and we both happen to be Robert Morris alums. David is never happier than the day on which we admit new partners, particularly ones that he has been the mentor and career guider for, and there are many of them around the firm.
Well, I still rely on him tremendously just for business advice, how to handle certain situations, either internally or externally. I always go to Dave with some of those types of questions because he's been around for a tremendous career and has the great background that he has. He can offer a perspective that is, he's been there and done it.
Being able to help people progress in their careers and seeing them flourish and succeed is a reward that it's priceless. And so it matters a great deal to you when you're able to do that for someone and help them and coach them and bring them along in their career and allow them to have the kind of success that you're enjoying and hopefully more success.
My office used to be on the route between the front door and Dave's office, and every day Dave would walk past my office and take the time to stop in and ask me how I was doing, ask how the project was doing. I got to know his family that way. He got to know my family that way. It was just great. He was just a really caring person.
I've met all of his children now. Two of them are actually working for the firm. And I think the best compliment you can say to anybody is what a great parent someone must have been. And that is really something I really admire Dave for, because his kids are fantastic.
And like when he tells something funny, you know it's funny because of the way he's laughing. Like his laugh is just like makes you want to laugh when he's telling a story. There's so many stories that they have that like we don't know until like it just comes up in conversation.
Yeah, my grandma
and
had a
it's
handful.
so funny when he tells them, because you just imagine like the 5 kids like just being like so chaotic.
It's the most enjoyable time in the world to be with the kids, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're everything to us.
And our little diva. There's a diva. I turned 40 and I was like, I've never had a dog. I'm gonna go get a dog. I am going to go get a Shih Tzu dog. I want this so bad. He said to me, I said, I'm buying a dog. He said, if you buy a dog, in front of the kids, if you buy a dog, I'm moving out. Kiddingly. So I get her, and David's the first one off the bus because he's the youngest, right? So he goes, Mom, you got a dog. I said, yeah, aren't you excited? He goes, but Dad might move out. I said, no, he's not gonna move out. He was kidding.
He like saw the dog and he was like,
saw the dog and went,
so
wait.
is Dad moving out?
Yeah.
Mom's like, no, Dad's not moving out.
Yeah, well, Dad fell in love with you the second he saw her.
Yeah. He goes, this is the most beautiful dog I've ever seen in my life. I love her. And now he says hello to her before me when he comes home.
There you go, that's what you get.
We hire a lot of people from Robert Morris here at PwC. I go out and talk to the students every year. I was just on campus a couple of weeks ago and had a cocktail reception for those that we were interviewing for full-time positions and internship positions. And we've extended a number of offers to Robert Morris grads, and that's because they come out of school ready to go. They have the right kind of background technically. They have the right, I think, work ethic. And so they're very valuable people for an organization like this, because not only do they have the academic background, but they have the right professional focus and the applied skills, and you can use that applied learning here in our setting very effectively to your own benefit and to the benefit of our clients and the firm.
I'm just looking at the next agenda item. David's looking at the agenda item 3 years from now and what that will mean to the university. He does the same thing with his clients. He's looking at the impact long-term as well as short-term. That's what makes him such an excellent mentor, excellent partner, excellent businessman, and an excellent trustee for Robert Morris.
David's a godfather of one of my children, and they enjoyed David. And he's just an excellent family man.
He's just fun to be with. I mean, he really, really is a great guy. He is the kind of guy that you would have a beer with. Dave and I are great friends, and I think we always will be great friends because he is the person he is. So anyway, if you can get this in, congratulations, Dave.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming and congratulating the 2013 Robert Morris University Heritage Award winner and my Goomba, Dave Lancia.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. All right. You know, when I first got told that I was selected for this award, I thought, I got contacted from somebody in the school about doing that video. And my first reaction was, why don't we just watch some paint dry or count some sheep for 5 minutes and we'll accomplish as much as we would. I didn't realize I had such a wonderful family and all these good friends, but they did a great job with that video, so I just wanted to... I'd like to start by first thanking Dr. DeLomo for those kind words and those flattering comments. And thank you again, Dr. DeLomo, and the selection committee for this very distinguished award. When Dr. DeLomo called to mention to me that I'd won the award, I thought maybe, since I thought about the accomplishments of many of the others who have received this award, the first thing I thought was, maybe Greg called me about something else and got the calls confused and didn't really mean to say that. But I hurried up and sent him a thank you, right? And then actually, I've been tough to get a hold of for a couple weeks, huh? Yeah. In any event, suffice it to say, I'm deeply honored and humbled to be standing here this evening. This is indeed a great night for Robert Morris University. We've heard from others about how Robert Morris University has changed their lives, and I'm really here just to add to that chorus. When I transferred to Robert Morris, I didn't really know what I needed to do to achieve success in my career. I did know that I wanted to be successful, and I also realized that if I was going to be successful, I needed to take care of it myself. When I got to Robert Morris, the thing that struck me was the outstanding professors at the school, as well as the professional nature of the business school, instilled quickly in me a real sense of the real world. And that, in fact, got me to believe that I could actually do more with my life than I might have otherwise imagined I could do with my life. The end result to me was, as I think back on it, Robert Morris believed in me, and that made a big difference for me. And so simply put, Robert Morris University does change lives. And while that's a tagline that's rather new, and it was a great tagline done by the marketing department here, there's no doubt about it. Robert Morris University has been busy, quietly changing lives for many years now. For most of us, there's a short list of individuals who are as much responsible for our own accomplishments as we are, and in many times more responsible. People who tell us what we need to hear, not just what we want to hear. People who believe in us when others might not. The ones who are willing to do whatever they can to help us out. The ones who you can always count on, whether you last spoke to them yesterday or 30 years ago. Those individuals in my life share in this celebration, and I'd like to take just a brief moment and recognize some of them this evening. They say outside of family, you can usually look to one person who's meant the most in your career and had the most influence on your career. Well, for me, I was very fortunate because I had two people. When I first met Gene Kligman, it was 1979, Coopers and Library, and I'm a new staff person, he's a partner, but we made a connection very different than you would normally make between a new staff person and a partner at the time. Gene is a very bright guy. He was motivated, he has great business savvy, and he wanted to succeed. I tried to emulate him in everything that I did. And Gene and I became, and still are, very good friends. He is someone that I can count on today like I could back in 1979, someone I have tremendous respect for. And Gary Klaus. Gary mentioned that we met in 1998 when the merger of PW and C&L happened. And that was a very, very interesting time for all of us because, as you'll recall, this is a small city and there aren't a lot of accounting firms, and so we were fierce competitors. And now overnight, we're partners. And while it's been 15 years since we merged, it took no time at all for me to realize that Gary is not your typical large firm partner. Sure, Gary's way smarter than me, but the one thing I learned most is that Gary is an amazing listener and an outstanding thinker. When you're with Gary, those of you that know him, you're the priority, right? That's just the way he is. I regularly go to Gary for advice. I don't ever see that changing. Gary, thanks. You're a great partner and an even better friend. Like many, if not all of us, our individual lives are a reflection of our families. People say you can pick your friends. They say you can't pick your family. Well, if I could pick my family, I would pick the family that I have. My mother, who is here tonight, Teresa, and my father, Richard, who has passed, are the greatest parents in the world, period. I owe them everything. Mom, thanks for teaching me to be confident in myself and realizing that I'm capable of doing whatever I choose to do. I love you. Having two brothers and two sisters who are always there for me, no matter what, is something I never take for granted. Susan, Ricky, Carol, and John, thank you for your constant love and support. And to be able to say without hesitation that your in-laws are your best friends speaks for itself. Rosemary and Jean Lodovico, who is also an RMU alum, you're the most selfless, supportive, caring mother-in-law and father-in-law anyone could imagine. From the first day we met, you welcomed me into your life. And from that day on, you've been with me every step of the way. Thank you, and I love you. Lauren, Olivia, and David, words cannot adequately describe my feelings for you guys. I'm the luckiest guy in the world. You saw the video. You guys are simply amazing kids, respectful, loving, bright, hardworking, and caring. And what I admire now that you're adults most is that you're great friends. I love you guys, and my pride is infinite, and I have always done my hardest every day, and I'll continue to do my hardest for the rest of my life for you. And last but certainly not least, I'd like to thank my wife, Anna Marie. It's hard to believe we've been married for 32 years. Anna Marie, you're the person most responsible for me standing here tonight. You're the patient one who puts up with me. You're the one who's agreed to stay home and take care of the kids, doing the more difficult job. You're the one who always gave me the space to do what I needed to do and also take care of the kids while I traveled out of town and worked long hours. The one who believed in me when it felt like a lot of times no one else did. You're the humble one who always puts the needs and cares and tries to please everybody else. You're the love of my life. Thank you. So, there you have it, folks. Robert Morris University has indeed changed my life. And now to be recognized with this most prestigious award is a milestone I will never forget. Thanks to everyone here for your well wishes. Special thanks to my family and friends who are here this evening. And thanks, Dr. DeLomo, again, and the selection committee for this outstanding honor. I will continue to do my best to represent Robert Morris University as we stay focused on changing lives for many years to come. Thank you all. Have a great evening.
What about Diva? I mean, you forgot Diva. Thank you, David, and that's great remarks. And you know, in so many respects, David is a great example of that generation of Robert Morris University graduates who really personify what he shows, and his background and his upbringing and his dedication to hard work and making something of himself post Robert Morris University, and then always staying connected back with the university, and now as a board member and as a very, very strong supporter of the university. We appreciate it, and it's all about family, David, and you really represent it, so thank you.